Okay, let's listen to this and then I'll talk. Okay. This is a song I produced for Northern National called Glory Days. This isn't released yet. It'll be coming out soon, but out of respect for them, I'm just going to work with this little section and maybe leave the vocals out. But we got plenty to work with. Okay, what was the setup for this? It was overhead and inside kick mic. I think that's it. And also very budget. I think one of those packs that you get to do like live sound that just come with like the standard tom mics and all that. But I traveled to them and recorded this in the dining room of the drummer's house with 2 channels on my Apollo and 2, I guess like AKG mics or something. But a 2 mic setup for that drum sound is totally doable. And we'll break it down. There's honestly not that much to break down. But let's just do them by themselves really quick. Okay. This is the overheads by themselves. Okay. I'm just remembering all of this now. This is kind of a big deal for doing this. With one overhead mic and no direct snare mic, you're going to get... The overheads are meant to capture the brightness and the cleanness and stereo-ness of the drum kit. And then you get your direct mics for your, your transient, your thump, your low end, then your room mics for your mid-range. So what I did, this is the first time I discovered this. And it's made a big deal with this. I'm trying to... Oh, there we go. I duplicated the overhead. Here, it's called snare low. And I gated it and found the fundamental frequency of the snare drum and just put this steep, crazy filter on it. And the EQs, obviously, I think this is just the same EQs. Yeah. And that's it. And now listen to the difference. Maybe a little loud, though. That's a big difference. And that alone really is what made this work. I also did do a trigger on this, which down here looks like, yeah, I already printed it. But I think I used Slate Digital for the trigger. Yeah. And what that's doing is adding some stereo-ness, since there's only one overhead, so it's mono. And just some more attack to it. Looks like, okay, I did some tom triggers. Just to make those kind of poke out a little bit more, and the context, we can play it with the rest, everything else. Okay, that's overheads. Let's look at the kick. I can't remember if this made it into the final mix. So what I did with the overhead and snare, where I duplicated, I think I tried doing that with the sub as well. With the kick drum, I mean. Yeah, I can't remember if that was in the final mix. But one of the things I found helpful, let's look at it. I mean, this is all, I have one, I think I tracked it with the 1176, just a little bit to keep it from clipping my converters, but looks like I just, yeah, some 3K, a tiny bit of 8, and pulling out probably some honky stuff, and a little bit more 2K. But honestly, this would be fine without any of this shit. We just feel like we have to do stuff. There really wasn't anything inherently bothering me, probably. But one thing that was a big deal for this is this sample delay on the kick. And this is the thing that scares a lot of people about recording drums, if you know you're doing it from a home and all that, is all the phase issues. And it's much easier to check and figure out the phase if you only have 2 mics, 2 sources. So I found that delaying the kick drum a little bit, the kick in mic, made a big difference. And let's see, let's listen to the difference. Hollowed out the punch. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that really needed to happen. I'm gating it a little bit, and a little more. Yeah, it's just giving a little more like attack and thrust. But this sample delay move, let's see how much I'm doing it by. This is just the standard Apple sample delay too. It just comes with your computer. Oh. 176 samples. But it's very clear and easy to do. You just drag this around until it's right. It's let's do it in real time. Now you hear it. Out. In. A big deal. I've found in this situation. And we did cymbals separately, but we did kick, snare, hi-hat together. Just for the groove of this, it's helpful to have the kick snare and a hi-hat kind of all working together. And but these big washy cymbals, it's good habit to do them separately if the drummer can handle it, and because you can obviously damage the drums as much as you want without the cymbals going out of control. And that's just cymbals over the top, and it's just over one section. Looks like I'm just, yeah. Little tambo I think I added. I probably added it here after the fact. But yeah, I mean, it's not rocket science. You do need a good drummer. So I barely had to edit these at all. That's when things start to suck a lot. But Anthony from Northern National is an incredible drummer. You can throw any mic in front of him while he's playing, and it's going to sound pretty good and balanced. But this just goes to show you, you don't need an isolated hyperbaric chamber that costs $100,000 to record a drum kit. I think I've said enough about this. Yeah, that's it. Goodbye.